So welcome to day 8 of my 30 days of content. Today we're starting a new episode in the series, or a new course in the series. Today we're going to be starting out our for sale by owner university. This is going to be a little bit of a different type of video. I'm going to kind of be going over some things that I feel like people won't want to hear from a realtor, but I feel like low-key, a realtor might be the one to tell you how to sell your home, like on some real stuff. If you're trying to sell your home in Chicagoland without a realtor, what should you do? What would I do as a realtor? To me, if you're somebody that's been searching like how to sell my home without a realtor, or how to sell my home for sale by owner, this is the video for you. This is perfect for you. If you're somebody that you're open to a realtor, still give me a call. But this might not be the video for you because you're already ready to work with the realtor. This is for people who think they can sell their home on their own, and I'm going to show you how to sell your home on your own within 72 hours. No fluff, no interruption, period. And I would also say this is specifically for Chicago and Chicagoland and the surrounding suburbs. I don't think that this is a strategy that would work in Texas or New York or even a California for all of it. If you really break down Chicago is not one market. Chicagoland isn't one market. If you're in Chicago has sub-markets within the major market. Then if you expand even broader from that, Oak Park is not Joliet. Berwyn is not Naperville. Maywood is not Bolingbrook. These are all completely different segments and sectors of the city. So you have to really consider, where are you at? What do your buyers look like? What do your buyers need? If you're out in Berwyn, Bellwood, Maywood, you might be positioning your property for investors. You might not be going in at retail. If you're somewhere out in Joliet, you're in Bolingbrook, you're in Romeoville, you might be practicing a more retail type approach and getting top dollar. You got to really think about that. And you also have to think about that as a buyer as well. Where am I going to be going and that my assets are going to be appreciating in a way that benefits me in my life for the future? Boom. So this is going to be a sensitive topic that I want to actually talk about. There are really 3 different price points that people talk about when they're looking to sell their home. It's what the owner thinks that it's worth. That's one price. It's what Zillow thinks that it's worth. That's another price. Then there's what it is actually worth. Those are 3 different numbers almost always. So let me help. If you are just basing what you believe your home is worth based on your amenities and the type of home that you have, you are wrong. And I'm going to hurt your feelings here. You have to compare your home to the homes nearby. I'm not talking about the homes in your city. I'm not talking about the homes in your county. I'm not talking about the homes in your state. I'm talking about the homes within 1 mile, preferably on your block. If you can't find homes on your block, expand the radius just a little bit. Fluctuate. See what amenities you can match and not match. You have to actually dig into the really deep grit of it, because when you're only going based off of what you see on Zillow or recently sold properties on Redfin, you're actually not getting a complete story of what's going on in your market. If you really want to understand what's going on in your market, you have to go to your county and city data and see what's the freshest, most recent data that you can actually attain as an individual. Because if you're not doing that, you're actually not getting accurate information. Zillow is just selling you a fantasy. They want you to stay on their site longer. They're not giving you numbers that are actually based in reality. You gotta walk with me. If you walking with me, you walking with me. And if you're not, we're gonna have to talk about that when we get there. But you need to make everything look good. You have to see the full picture. Step outside of your house and actually see the full picture. Because it's not just your unit. There's units around you that influence what other people will pay for your unit, your home. And let me tell you, in this market, the other thing that people don't talk about is how sensitive buyers are. Buyers are price sensitive. You have to be aware that most buyers are shopping in brackets. You have buyers that typically shop in what I would call the 25 to 30K increments. And if you're really a good realtor, you're following the rule of three, because everything happens in three. So for every $30, that's a different sector or group of buyers. And it starts literally from $0 to $30,000. That's one group of buyers, and they are investors. 30 to 60, 60 to 90, 90 to 120, 120. It goes up in 30 increments. Some people say it goes up by 25s. I don't like that rule because I don't think that's true. What you need to do is you need to figure out what buyers in your area, what increment they're at. If you're out in Joliet, your increment might be somewhere between 250 and 450. If you're out in Bellwood, Maywood, Berwyn, your increment might be different. If you're in Oak Park, your increment may be different. You have to consider what's going on around you. And you have to remember that this is why realtors are also very important, because they look at certain market conditions and they geographically gear your property to be perfectly set up in that certain area. But when you're just doing it alone, you might go based off of what your aunt or your uncle or your niece or your nephew says, or based on social media. And those ideas may be based off of a neighborhood that you're not in, or on a block that you're not on, and they don't actually reflect the value of what's going on around you as a seller and a homeowner. You got to think about stuff like that. Let me just tell you, it's one answer. And this one answer is going to make you upset, but it's also going to give you a little bit of insight into buyers. It is exposure. You think that Zillow is enough. Let me tell you for a living fact that not only is Zillow not enough, Zillow is one point of entry out of roughly 50 to 150 entries that the MLS will attach you to. You're like, what does that mean? Yeah, there are millions of people scrolling on Zillow every day. But I would like to inform you that before Zillow existed, people were still buying homes. And they were buying a lot of homes. People use Zillow as a means to an end. But if you look at Zillow for what it is, it's just one platform out of many platforms. You start to understand the bigger picture. I have one client that only sends me Redfin listings. I mean, I don't mind it. But let me tell you, I tell him all the time, when I send him listings, he's like, oh, I didn't see this one. It's not because Redfin is hiding anything or Redfin's being malicious. These platforms have algorithms. So a lot of times buyers might not even be seeing your property if it's not based on their recent searches, if it's not based on their recent activity, their recent browser history. So Zillow is algorithmically showing your property to certain people, which means you're not getting your property shown to other people. So what you would have to do in that scenario is diversify your streams of output. What does that mean? Diversify your streams of output. That sounds like a big realtor word. It's not really that big of a phrase. It's what it is you take what you would upload to one platform and you upload it to as many platforms as possible. That's what realtors do. So what you need to learn how to do is do that either yourself or just work with a realtor. But I'll say, if you're just using Zillow, you're not doing enough. If you're just using Facebook Marketplace, you're not doing enough. Exposure is the name of the game. Once you get enough exposure, you can literally take on the world. You don't need a realtor if you can get exposure, and the only reason you would work with a realtor is so you can get exposure and maybe have a more hands-off approach. Doesn't even always work like that, because most realtors. Why does saves not result in showings? What's actually going on in that scenario? I think the thing that people seem to forget about is a lot of times saves are just reflective of something that might actually be going a lot deeper. A lot of times, if you get a bunch of saves or no showings, you're priced too high. But you wouldn't know that without a realtor or without a little bit of insight from your buyers. And most buyers will tell you that. You just got to pay attention. But most people don't pay attention because they think that they're right about their price, when in all reality, the price that you have in your head is not the price that the market is accepting. And if the market was accepting it, you would have sold your property. We're not in a downturn. People are still buying homes. People are more selective, but they have not crashed out of the market. So if your home didn't sell, it's because you didn't sell it right. Okay, what is the one thing that I think sellers should do or consider when trying to sell their own home. I would say the one thing that you would do or consider is price point. If you are not priced right, nothing else matters. If you're priced right, you can put a yard sign in your yard and you can sell your property. You will. You will eventually because the price is right. But if you're not priced right, you can be on 95 different platforms and you could have the President of the United States shout you out. But without the correct pricing, it will not go anywhere because nobody's going to pay for a bad asset. So what you need to do is position your home as a valuable asset on paper and in reality. Make it look as good as possible. And let me tell you something else. The first 72 hours are where everything happens. The first 72 hours are where everything happens. If you don't sell your home within 72 hours, you might as well wait 60 days. And I'm not saying that to be rude, but after 72 hours, the market has told you everything you need to know, and you will either sit there forever or you will readjust and reposition eventually. I promise you that. You just gotta listen to it. You have to. Because that's when buyers are paying attention. That's when agents are sending listings out. That's when urgency and competition and saves are being analyzed and looked at and picked over and offers are being made. And if you aren't in on that first 72-hour swing, you are automatically behind. Period. And you set yourself up. So what do you do now? What do you do because your home went live without strong pricing, without full exposure, without a current reflection of the market, and now it's just sitting still? You go on YouTube and you type out, why haven't my home sold yet? How to sell my home without a realtor. But let me tell you, you've hit that 72-hour point. You have a dead listing. Now you need to pull in help or you need to aggressively reposition your property. And most people won't like to hear that. But if you don't do it, it will sit even longer. So you just have to pull the trigger and realize you're not going to make $500,000 on your $125,000 investment. We're not there yet. So take your little $325 and go home. Boomer. Okay. I'm a little tired. I don't know if y'all can tell. I had a long day today. I've been up since like 8 a.m. It is currently 11:04 p.m. I'm tired. So that's it. Go sell your home. And if you are just like, I'm done, I'm not done, I'm not doing this anymore, what you need to do is you need to pick up the phone and call 312-763-8103. Because if you're in Chicago and you want to sell your home for sale by owner and you're like, I'm just sick of it. I'm a realtor that loves working with for sale by owner. I'm a realtor that loves working with for sale by owner homes. And I think that at a certain point, when you just bring a realtor in on the process, go hands off, go sip your Mai Tai on the beach while you make your money, I think that's the best outcome you can have, really. Let's just stop pussyfooting around the subject. It's just time to make the move. Pull the trigger. We need more listings anyway. That's the thing that they won't tell you either. We need more listings. Realtors are too bougie to just say it. We need more active listings. We need people building properties. If you can build a property, you should be building a property because we need property. So that's where I'm gonna leave it off at. Y'all have a good rest of your day. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to sleep. You're probably like, how are you going to sleep after you drink coffee?